What's up, guys? It's been a while. It's been like a month. Finally not out of town for work. Why is this blowing out like crazy? I am so sorry. Anyway, welcome to Friday Night Live. Super excited about this one. We obviously have Bob Vu on deck here. Yeah, this is the first live since I got that really fantastic Instagram message about me being asshole and to stop being a drunken idiot. So cheers to that person, and I'll see you guys on the other side. It's Friday night, so you know what that means. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Not a whole lot. I've actually been super excited for this all week. So, and I've had a terrible week. So I'm kind of stoked we finally got to Friday.
Terrible week. It's only Friday
at work. So how we usually start these things off is if anybody for some reason doesn't know you, and I can't imagine anybody watching wouldn't already know who you are. But if anybody doesn't, would you like to introduce yourself and say a few words?
Yeah, sure. I'm Bob Vu, a professional ball python breeder. As weird as that is to say. Been a full-time ball python breeder for, this is coming up on my 6th year. Before that, did a little bit of sales and directing a few different sales companies. I'm out of Georgia, right south of Atlanta. And if you need to find me, it's on Morph Market and Instagram, because I don't have a Facebook business page because it keeps getting shut down. But you'll see me in the forums a lot. I comment on a lot of stuff. I'm very active online. I like to kind of keep an eye on everything that's happening in the industry and all that. So,
And you're a pretty huge anime nerd.
I'm a huge anime nerd. If you guys haven't noticed,
It's one of the, like, as much as I wanted to talk to you about snakes, like I'm also just a huge anime nerd myself. So
you know what's the most fun thing that I've had happen to me all week is on Monday. My wife asked me, "What's a good anime to watch?" And I'm like, So she's just out of things to watch on Netflix. Is why she's asking. And she actually started Naruto from the very first episode.
And she's never seen it before?
Never seen it before. She just keeps
I'm so jealous.
Right. She sees me watching it. Like I'm so weird. Like I'll watch it on TikTok sometimes, like when they'll post like scenes of it. So I'll watch like a 30-second clip of Naruto and I'll laugh about it. And she's like, you keep watching like these TikTok videos. I'm like, oh, I've seen every episode. So it doesn't matter. I'll still rewatch it. So I told her I'm willing to watch every episode over again with her. So that's been a really fun thing this week. And then I bought her a PS5 for our wedding anniversary gift.
Nice.
And I've spent all week playing Final Fantasy VIII from 1999 on there.
Oh,
so
sweet.
Yeah. So it's been a really good week for me.
That's amazing. And since you brought up gifts, fairly recently you bought yourself a pretty awesome present. You want to talk about that for a second?
I bought myself a lot of presents.
I'm talking about the one you posted on Instagram about.
Yeah. So I bought a Corvette earlier this year. I've been like really like fighting like buying a car or not because I have a working vehicle and I bought myself a van last year.
Sorry. Paul's
I'll
a
send you a
character.
link later,
I hear you guys know each other.
Yeah, I'll send you a link later. God, there's so many ball python guys on right now. Don't you guys have like lives or wives and dinner to cook?
You know what? The reason these Friday ones I think work well is because at that 7:00 mark, people aren't quite out the door yet for their night, and they're still So
and it's COVID. Everyone stays home anyway. So
exactly. So
so I've been on the fence. I've been wanting a Corvette for like a year, like maybe 2 years now, since the new models came out, and I'm like, I really like them, but I just can't like get myself to justify the pricing. And we come up on the years, and I talked to my wife about the numbers and all that, how we did in the year. We did really well. COVID really helped ball python sales somehow. And then I flew over to New Orleans with her for New Year's. And we celebrated New Year's over there, and I went to the casino, and I had a really good like run over there. And I'm like, this kind of justifies my pricing a little bit, So I literally came back on January 2nd, waited a day, drove out to the dealership the next day, and bought a Corvette. And it was, it's a really nice car. And I'm not really a car guy. So people keep asking me like, oh, how fast does it go and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, they're like, what are the specs? And you're like, I don't know. It's pretty and it goes fast.
It's blue and it's, it looks cool.
That would be me if I bought a Corvette. I'd be like, I don't know. It's Corvette. Go look at it.
They're like, what about the horsepower? And I'm like, it has a few of those, I guess. I don't know. Like, I'm going to get steering wheel wraps. So that's going to be pretty cool.
That's actually awesome. Are you going to put any of your stuff on it anywhere? Are you leaving it as is? Like,
I'm gonna leave it as it is. I always tell people like I use the most douchebag line when people ask me why I don't have any tattoos. So this was drawn up for me as a tattoo. Like I was gonna get a tattoo of this, then I thought about it and I didn't, so I just turned it into my logo. So my wife has tattoos, my brother, my sisters, they all have tattoos. And people ask me all the time, and I always tell them, you don't put a bumper sticker on a Ferrari. So it's like, so
I'm like a 96 Corolla at best.
Yeah. So. I'm the Ferrari. Right? But no, my van is entirely wrapped already as it is. And I did talk to my accountant. The Corvette doesn't count as a tax write-off, apparently. So there's no point.
I can kind of see why that might be the case.
Right. So I might get a cool tag for it or something, but no, we're not gonna wrap it or get any
no custom plates or anything.
I'm gonna get a custom plate. For sure.
Okay, cool.
I'm like in between a few. I was gonna get like BP money, because it's like big money. But then someone's gonna be driving behind me. I'm like, oh, this guy must own a gas station or something. You know, I'll be like, no, wrong kind of Asian. But I haven't decided what license plate to get yet. But we're on the fence for a few.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, I guess you have time, right? So it's
Yeah. I mean, well, which is weird. My tag still hasn't come in, and my temp tag expires in 2 weeks. I think it's just because of COVID. It's been kind of delayed. Everything's kind of slow. So.
Okay, so this is going to be a pretty easy to answer question, but I kind of want to use it to lead into asking a little bit more about your logo, only because it's probably the logo I like the most out of the entire industry.
I appreciate that.
No, like I'm not even just saying that to blow smoke up your ass. I've loved it from day one. I'm just like, dude, this dude took a dragon. Oh. Anyway, so origin of your business name is pretty straightforward.
Right. So in 2010, 11 is when I was like, hey, I should get a business name. I think I'm going to do this legit. And so we came up with Balls, pretty simple stuff, right? But in 2011, when I made a Facebook business page, Balls, all of my friends refused to like the page. Like back then, it was like, oh, that's weird. You know, it's Balls. We don't want to do that. And even the ball python guys were like, oh, that's too much. Like back then, everyone had like professional business names, you know, like it's just their name, like John, whatever, reptiles. And it's just it. That's just their business name. And I'm like, well, it's just Balls. It's simple. And everyone's like, it's just too much. But now it's like, I guess more acceptable because I've seen some really, you know, let me see. There's some worse ones than mine that are more
like grab your balls and stuff like
that.
Yeah,
like one of my favorite ones is Balls Deep. Balls Deep is a good one.
Wait, which one?
Balls Deep.
Balls. Oh yeah, I did like that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. You know,
and even like Gavin's, even just like Balls to You. Like I feel like that's a little more
right.
Because like over there, that's an insult, right? Like that's meant to be fucking.
And there's a guy in Florida. There's Grandpa's Balls down there.
Yeah, so Bob's Balls seems pretty tame when you compare.
It's tame now, yeah. But no, so we did the Balls thing, and then we came up with the other logo. I don't know if you posted the other logo.
I strictly stuck to that one only because I love it. But yeah.
So we came up with the other logo in 2016. That's when I went full time. So I actually needed a logo. Mm-hmm. I quit my day job, which was I was a director for an insurance company in 2016. So when I quit that job, that logo, guys.
The other logo is also great. Like this is freaking amazing.
So original and straight to the point.
So good.
We came up with that one in 2016. We just needed something to use, and we thought that was something easy, clever, recognizable. And then we got this one in 2017. We started using this one more heavily, and that's why I sell so many T-shirts, man. People have been so supportive. The reptile industry has been so supportive. We'll go to a show and sell 40, 50 T-shirts, at a major show. And it's been really good, watching people walk around. And I have people who don't even keep snakes buy my shirts. There are guys at the gym that buy these tank tops or the other logo. And everyone's been so supportive of it. It's been awesome. And I've been known as.
It's funny that you bring the shirts up. Sorry to interrupt. It's funny that you bring the shirts up. I have wanted one of your shirts for the longest time, but like you and I don't really talk. Like you were on Billy's podcast when I was a part of it.
Right.
But outside of that, we haven't chatted much other than like the odd,
on Facebook posts back and forth. There, right, back and forth.
Yeah. So like I've literally wanted like a tank top of your shirt and like legit both logos because they're both amazing. But what's funny is before I even knew who you were, because I would say you probably started. No, you did start while I was out. Because I was in the hobby for a while. I got out for like 5-6 years and then I got back in. So you really started up and started doing your thing. I guess in that time period I was gone.
Right.
And the first time I even heard of you, somebody had a sticker and it was that sticker. And I was just like, who the fuck is this guy? And I'm racking my brain trying to remember who had the sticker. And it made me instantly look you up and like follow you on everything and like. But it's kind of cool because like I instantly recognized you as an anime fan.
Right.
And because I'm an anime nerd as well. I instantly, like, I didn't even know you, and I was like, I want to give this guy all my money.
So, do you think when someone's starting their new business, right? I'm having a lot of guys ask me about business stuff. When you're starting a new business, starting a logo or a business name, make sure it's something that someone's willing to follow, like, or something, and make it you. Obviously, don't just go make an anime logo. You've never seen an anime in your life, or something like that. But make it you, because you're basically going to attract other people like you. I already know there's a bunch of nerdy dudes in the industry. There could be a bunch of guys that don't watch anime and whatever, and they think it's stupid, but I'm okay with that, because I do a lot of stuff that people think are stupid or whatever. But it's just like I was gonna make this company or the brand as much of originally me as possible. Vegeta's been my favorite character growing up, so I was like, I told him, I was like, can you draw me as Vegeta and then post it in and all that? Yeah, I love that. You told me about that. I love that. I actually wore that tank top the other day. I have that huge M on my tank top. So I love that, but so I was telling people, when you do your business name or business logo, make sure it's something, especially when you do stickers. Stickers are a big thing in the industry, and stickers is such a big thing in the industry that you want to make sure your sticker is going to look cool, because if your sticker sucks, I'll tell you what happens if your sticker sucks. When you give me a sucky sticker, I have to hide you on my cart, so I have this cart that they have all these stickers off, and if your sticker sucks, you don't land on here, and I have a lot of stickers. I go to shows and collect so many random stickers, man. It's just, but honestly, people are gonna want to post the cooler stuff, this cooler logo. If anybody hadn't seen my snake room before, I want to give you a little 360 tour here. Oh, this way. There we go. Kind of a lot of empty spaces. So many empty spaces from not enough animals. But
that just means more to come.
More. We're gonna have a lot this year. We're having a really, really good year. Ultrasound's been really nice. So we're gonna have a lot of eggs this year, I hope. So
this comment wins.
Bob's power level under 9,000.
So okay, this is actually kind of funny, because I want to ask you a question about this, actually, and the fact that Pete brought this up makes me quite happy about it. Are you aware of the discrepancy between the manga and the anime for that scene?
Yes. So I've had so many people talk about, and a lot of, I also hate this part about the anime scene is people will shit on you if you watch subbed over dubbed or dubbed over sub, and I'm just like, who cares? As long as you're enjoying the anime, who really cares? Because I watch dubbed because I'm too lazy to read. I'll just be honest, man. I'm just one of those losers that don't read. And I'm doing other things while I watch. So, I'll look up, or whatever. And if you read the manga and you're like, okay, well, this is supposed to happen or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, it's still cool. It's still cool.
This is great. I'm glad you're lost, Paul. No, and it's funny because the changeover occurred actually between the manga and the anime. Even the Japanese sub is wrong, canon wrong, right? Because it's supposed to be 8,000, but the animators made it so his mouth didn't match 8.
Right.
When he said
9,000, over 9,000 is so much cooler.
And it's honestly, it ended up working. It's so iconic, right?
Yeah, it became iconic of a line. It's over 9,000.
Why is this not showing up? Okay, so we've been talking about.
What if my tag is over 9,000? OV over 9,000. No, anyways.
Wait, how many characters can you have?
We can have up to 7. I can put over 9K.
Or you could do OVR 9,000.
Yeah, over 9,000. I might do that. I kind of like that, because that's why I bought it in the Vegeta blue. I literally bought the Corvette. I bought the Corvette in the Vegeta blue for a reason too. So
I am so sorry. My cat just got stuck on a bag, like a paper bag that was on my floor. Oh my god.
Oh, cat people.
Anyway,
it's okay. I'm a dog guy.
Okay, let's bring this back to snakes for a bit. I'm sure we'll
all right. All these people are like these nerds.
How and when did you get into the hobby, Bob?
Let's say when people say like I have a lot of people say like, "Oh, I'm getting into the industry or out of the industry." I'm like, first of all, you weren't in or out of the or getting out of the industry. To me, if you're in the industry, that means you're producing, selling, or investing into the hobby. You know, buying your first 2 ball pythons, you're not in the industry. You keep 2 pet snakes. So my first year buying a ball python, I was in the 10th grade. Oh my gosh. If I was in the 10th grade, that would have been 2000 and what? That's a good question. 2005. So I bought my first ball python in 2005. I had my first clutch of ball pythons in 2009. And it was just like people are like, "Oh my goodness, 2009. It's a forever." You know, so some guys it's forever ago, and some guys was like, "I've been in the industry 42 years." But in 2009, you got to consider back then how much a pastel ball python cost, right?
Oh yeah.
I bought my first pastel ball python in Daytona in 2007, and that was like $500. So I bred a pastel to a normal that year. It was pretty cool. It's pretty epic. Good odds there. 3 pastels and 3 normals.
There you go. You were set back then.
Yeah, I was like back then. I was like, hell yeah, I got $1,500 right here. But I'm gonna keep all of them. You know,
those normals were still not like super cheap though at the time.
Right.
Like those are like $250 a pop still.
I was such a new guy, and people do this to me all the time. I bred pastel to normal, and all the normals that came out, I'm like, man, this one's kind of cool. It's got like a little faded look, you know. And then the pastels come out. I'm like, this one's really nice. Maybe it's like lemon pastel or Graziani pastel or something. You know, it's kind of cool. Fader, you know, something cool like that. But in 2011, I started getting a little heavier into ball pythons. That's when I graduated college in 2011. And I had already, by that time, I already had, a wooden rack I built that like barely worked. And then I graduated college. I was pretty broke. I didn't have any money. I lived with my brother. I paid him rent every 2 to 3 months. And I was playing poker for a living at that time. I was driving from home to Jacksonville playing cards every weekend. And in 2013, I started doing sales. I started doing selling insurance. I was very good at selling. And I saved all my money and just kept buying ball pythons. And everything I produced, I kept pretty much everything. Anything I didn't, it was going to the pet store nearby. And by 2015, I had a pretty good sizable collection. It was I was taking up a full bedroom worth of snakes. Me and my now wife bought a house in Warner Robins, Georgia, and I dedicated 2 bedrooms just to ball pythons. And at the time, my job was really stressful. You know, I was in charge of firing people, hiring people, training people. And I was coming home every day going, man, I hate my life. This sucks. I can't wait till this weekend where I can go to the show and hang out with the guys and talk snakes. Well, I got to the show and I did $7,000 that weekend at the show. And I was like, man, that was good. That's really good money.
Right, but that was probably more than you made in a month.
Right. And I'm thinking in my head, no, I was making about $120,000.
Well, sorry, I meant like it must have been close, right?
Right. It was good. It was really good money. I'm thinking in my head, I did that in 2 days, you know, at a weekend show. And the problem for someone like me at the time to just quit my job and do this full time was, you know, I was in a suit and tie every day going to the office. I made $120,000 a year doing sales, but it's a stressful sales job. So I told my wife, hey, I'm going to quit my job and I'm just going to do snakes full time. And so in 2016, I told my boss, hey, I'm going to quit. I'm going to breed snake. I'm going to do the snake thing full time. He drove to my house. My boss drove to my house to look at the snake thing. And he goes, let me see what this thing's all about. And so he looked at it and he goes, look, when you decide in 6 months to come back, we'll have a position ready for you. And
oh my God.
All right, no, like they were like they thought it was the dumbest thing in the world. Like this guy's gonna quit his job and go sell snakes, you know, with these weirdos at shows and stuff. And that was in 2016. The way I built my business name and like kind of the brand was in 2018 and 2019. I did 40 shows a year.
I was gonna say what?
Both years I did 40 shows. I did a show basically every month. I did 3 shows. And it was like literally 1 weekend off every month. I did 40 shows both of those years. And we got our name out there. We made sure that when we get there, we do the show right, nice displays, everything. So that as soon as you walk into the room at a show, you know where to find me. You know the logo. You've seen it 40 times, so you've seen it before. You recognize it. We made our name real recognizable. Morph Market has been huge for us since 2017 when we got on there. It's been huge. The platform's amazing. John's been great with all of the input we've given him.
And we'll get back to that.
Oh, okay.
No. Morph Market is great. I love John. We'll get back to it, not for a drama reason.
Yeah, put a mark on that to go back to that because I love Morph. I'm a huge company guy, so that's why like I wear all their shirts. I do all the merch.
Oh yeah,
have my snake on the table.
Invaluable for our entire business. Like,
so when did you get out of the industry back then?
So I was in from, I want to say 2007 to 2013.
Oh, so
or 12.
You were around when it was like King Snake and Fauna were like the thing, right?
I am very familiar with King Snake. Up here, Reptiles Canada Classifieds was the big thing. King Snake was more America based.
Okay.
There was Canadians on it that would buy and sell, but it was I want to say 90-95% American. So right. we kind of had our own version. But yeah, it was mostly that, and then our version of Craigslist. And that's what we had.
So for anyone new, basically after 2016, King Snake used to be like the website. Like you would log on and there would be like 5 pages a day of like just ads with ball python ads. And it would just be like, you can scroll through ads all day long and just go through.
And it was so fun because back then, like there wasn't the, I don't know how to say this, but there wasn't the like ridiculous plethora of information there is now.
Right.
So you'd see all the ads, but then you'd see that really weird one and you'd be like, oh shit.
Back then there's no way like to really research your the seller. I wonder how many guys got scammed on there back then because
I can't even imagine.
Now, dude, if I'm buying a snake from you, I'll go check out your Instagram, your Facebook. I would go through your reviews. I would read the reviews before I buy it from you and all that stuff. And you can post on BOIs or whatever. Back then, it was just like, man, I hope this guy doesn't just take my money and never ship me a snake, so.
I hope this snake doesn't show up dead.
Yeah. It's just like, there's nothing you can do after that. What are you going to do? Post on, was it bp.net, like the forum on bp.net or whatever, and start, I miss those forum days, man. I miss Facebook auctions. Facebook auctions used to be kind of fun too.
Was that so? I must have missed that phase. Was there like snakes and stuff on Facebook auctions?
Oh my god! So before Facebook crashed down on like animal sales, there would be like a group called Facebook auctions. There'll be like 20,000 members. You can just post a snake with a starting bid and an end date, and people would just go nuts. People just start bidding on your shit, and you just sell straight from there. It was fun, but kind of sketchy because a lot of guys will like tank prices. When you have no reserve auctions and you're like, let's say it's a brand new project. That literally it was like the banana day. So like bananas would like go on there.
Oh shit! I didn't think about that.
Yeah, and it was killing the price because no reserve auctions kill prices. Honestly, I tell people all the time, auctions are fun, but they're not great for any market.
Okay, so that said, I'm going to ask you a question that's not really one of my set questions. I'm more so just curious myself. These days, Instagram and the raffles and the spin to wins are becoming a lot more apparent, usually to raise money for a purpose, but sometimes people just do it to move an animal or whatever. What are your thoughts on those?
I like and so I don't like them. I've done them before. I did raffles. Every time I do a raffle, it's everyone will notice. Every time I do a raffle, it's for some type of charity or some type of event. I want to say I've done like 6 or 7 raffles. I did it for when I had 2 policemen in my class die. During they were both shot on duty. So we did a raffle for their family. We did a raffle for Australia. We raised $10,000 for Australia. Thank you, everybody. A Facebook auction was great. Yeah, Bob Clark used to post the hell out of some auctions on his page, man. Hey, I bought a pied retic from Bob Clark on auction just because it was so cheap, and I ended up giving it to my buddy Matt Bowers.
Man.
But no, the problem with raffles, if it's not for a charity event, because on a charity event raffle, right, you always raise over the amount of the retail value, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say my charity event for the Australian raffle, I donated a $1,700 to about $2,000 retail value animal. We raised $10,000. You know, so then this animal automatically in your mind is worth a little bit more money. But if a lot of these raffle guys are doing, let's say, hey, I'm going to raffle this snake. It's a $1,500 snake, but I'm going to take $1,300 worth of raffle. Some guy buying a $10 ticket only has $10 involved into this animal. He doesn't value that animal nearly as much, in my opinion, especially if you're doing this weekly or daily or whatever, because I've seen these raffles go on daily. They used to have these groups, waffles, raffles, whatever you sell, a business card, whatever you do. You don't have that much connection to that animal. You pay $10 for it. You want it for $10. So they're going to go and resell that snake for $700, $800.
Yeah, those are the people that'll post it on Craigslist or Kijiji for 50% of the price and not give a fuck.
It kills the project. And again, I have to let people know. I have to let people know this because I have to go through this. Is that in America, if you do a raffle, depending on your county or your state, it is illegal. It is considered gambling.
You shouldn't just say the U.S. I feel like a lot of people get pigeonholed into that. There's a lot of places outside of the U.S. that it's very illegal too. Right. Because most countries have a gambling commission of sorts that oversees gambling for the government.
Right.
And most governments see people doing raffles, waffles as a form of gambling.
Right. It is considered gambling. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
In order for you
everywhere
to do it,
could potentially have an issue.
Right. So in order for you to do a raffle, the way we have to do our raffles is I have to contact our sheriff department. I call out there and then say, hey, I'm doing a raffle. They're going to say, what are you doing it for? And they want paperwork. I just go out there and I say, this is the reason. And this is where the money goes, which has been really good. The sheriff department here is super chill. They don't follow up and be like, all right, we need to see a receipt. I just tell them straight up, all this money is going to this charity or this thing. So as long as you have your paper trail of, okay, this check, you're going to write a check, boom, from your business page or your personal page, whatever, to that charity or to whoever. Again, all of our raffles so far have been towards a nonprofit. We either do it for, except for the police the two policemen that passed. But again, when I called out to the sheriff department and said, I'm doing it for that, obviously it just slides right through. So as long as you're doing it for a charity or a nonprofit organization, something like that, your sheriff's department should let it slide, no problem. But if you do run a raffle without their permission, it is technically illegal. I mean, you're doing, again, they get away with it by like selling a business card or whatever, So, and I don't know the rules for that part, but I just know it is illegal if you were to run raffles on your own.
Okay, so I just posted this for myself, just in case I got off topic.
Oh,
but you made I think it was a Facebook post not too long ago about some people that had, donated or bought into something and then had an issue with it afterwards.
Because, that was.
I want to touch on that.
Recent. That was fairly recent. That was a month ago. So I did a charity raffle event. A local church approached us and said that they would like to help with the local Toys for Tots. And they know I donate to Toys for Tots every year, but I donate just, whatever I can. But they asked me if I was donating. I said, yeah, of course I'm donating. And then they called me on Wednesday and they said, our goal is to help out 300 families and 750 orphan children, with their Christmas. I said, oh, That's awesome. I said, how much money are we, looking to make? And they said, so far we've got 135. And I said, $135,000. That's a lot of money. So they've raised $135 at that point. And
Jesus.
Yeah, you got 300 families and 750 children to buy Christmas for, and you got $135. So I told them, give me a week. We had a little bit more than a week of time to raise money. So I donated a pair of, I honestly don't think what the animal mattered. I could have donated almost any snake. It didn't matter. I don't think. But I donated a pair of orange dream pieds, which let's say retail value $1,500. And I told everybody,
you're being generous there. Like, and I don't mean generous as in you're over, like you're very like low valuing that.
right. Let's just say, let's just say I don't want to say like, hey, it's $2,500.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Someone be like, hey, that guy's lying to us. But so I had so many people reach out to me and say, wow, we didn't even know, a way to donate or whatever. And I said, look, every dollar that gets sent to me or my Cash App, my PayPal, whatever, Venmo, I will pull it, and I will guarantee that a check gets written out to this church. That is literally and I've known the owners, and I've known the pastor there for a few years now, and they're super good people, and so I know the money's going to the right place. And so we raised, I think, $60-something, and then I ended up matching the rest. So we went to $7,500. Wow. I wrote out a check, sent it to them. I really didn't think much of it. They sent me a pictures of all the toys. I thought it was awesome. And all of a sudden, about a week or 2 weeks ago, someone scrolled through my posts and was like, hey, or because I shared my original post everywhere. And someone went through and posted on World of Ball Pythons, which has 18,000 members, and posted, and it's like, hey, man, this Bob Vu guy is raising money, and we never saw a winner. I think he just pocketed all of our money and went and bought a Corvette or something. Or, well, the comments in the comments thread was like 50 comments. Like, people screenshot it and sent it to me. And someone in the comments was like, yeah, he just bought a new Corvette. He must have pocketed all the money. And I'm like, it was like $6,000. I'm like, I was like, how much do you think a Corvette costs? But, so I was like, so I had to go in there and like defend myself in the post, which is like, I felt kind of weird. But I actually had a lot of my friends screenshot my, where I posted the winner and stuff and posted it in there, which is really cool. And they kind of just shut the post down when they realized it was like, he didn't do research. Honestly, all he had to do was message me. If he just messaged me, I would have told him, who won or whatever. And, so yeah, people are just weird, man. It's just, and I totally understand it because there's so many scams out there. So they're just skeptical. There are a lot of, there's a lot of these shady raffles and shady people just, collecting money, and then you don't know where it's going. So I try to be very transparent about it. I posted a picture of the check. I posted the picture of, the toys. I posted the pictures of everything and try to make things transparent for them.
Man, I feel like no matter what you do, no matter how much good you try to give back and all that kind of stuff, I feel like there's always going to be that one guy. Right?
Yeah, there's always that one guy. And no matter
what you do.
I was glad he made that post, that it lets other people know at least their money went to the right place in case they didn't see it, or something like that. So
that's a really good way to look at that.
Yeah, I could have been sour and be like, damn, this guy over here thinks I'm a hustler or something. Like, sacrifice my business name for $6,000.
I would. No, I'm joking. Okay, so jumping into the next question. Roughly, how many clutches are you expecting this year?
I would be really happy if we got 300.
300.
300 clutches.
You just casually, just like, yeah, I mean, I'd be cool with 300.
I would like to produce 2,000 ball pythons for the year. And the reason, last year we did 200 and some change, and I actually ran out of snakes at some point to sell. I canceled shows. Like in April, I canceled all my shows. April and May, I had no shows because I had no animals. It was just, oh God. Move.
I don't know why that just happened.
Yeah, you like zoomed in on me. I'm like, oh God.
No, it changed the setting here.
I was like, is my nose really that big? Jeez. No, I think 300 is a really good number for us. We're moving the snakes very, very quickly. Online sales have been amazing. Everyone's been so supportive. I have a big crew out here that I got to pay for. I got a Corvette that I got to pay for. And I told my main employee, Ryan, if he gets to 250, he'll get a nice bonus. And 300 is going to be his big bonus if he gets us the 300 clutches. He does a lot of my pairings because there's so many animals here to pair. I literally have just a list. Boom, pair these animals on Thursday. And he just goes in and pairs 100 females. at a time. So, all right.
You guys know that this money doesn't go to Bob, right?
Yeah, hey, I don't get any of that money.
I mean, I'll send it to him if that's what
This
you
is
want
all a
me to do with it.
scam.
I'll send it to him if you want me to, like, but realistically, after YouTube takes their money and then I send it to him with the conversion, that's like $6. So
Hey, that's
I mean, that's still $6 towards your next Corvette. So that's pretty
like
solid.
half a bowl of noodles here.
Bro, that's still half a bowl of noodles.
Yeah, I eat a lot of noodles. So yeah.
Pretty great. No, huge shout out to Apex Mutations, dude. Thank you. That's awesome. And I okay. I'm sorry. That was not, I didn't mean to hit that question. That's for the end.
Oh, but I can answer whichever.
Okay, so you're looking at 200 clutches.
300.
300 clutches. Okay, so I don't even know how to ask this because the stuff that you're producing in those 300 clutches are like a decade away from me.
No, so okay, so if you remember 300 clutches, I'm not gonna Justin Kabilka, your 300 clutches. I am not at that level, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I tell everybody this. So this is my daily reminder of how much money I need to make a day. Boom, boom. Okay.
Damn.
So I have stuff over here. I produce a very wide variety of animals. I have literally a rack that says white snakes right there. Boom. Boom.
White snakes. This fucking guy. Sorry about that. This guy's awesome.
This rack,
dude, you're awesome. Thank you, man.
Fucking rack of bananas. Just nothing but bananas. This rack
too. Banana.
Hypos. So because we produce such a large variety, it's not like every clutch is like a $10,000 clutch or $15,000 clutch or anything like that. However, I like it to be. So out of my percentage, I would say more than a third, maybe a half of that is going to be like my high-end projects, really nice projects I'm working on and stuff like that. And then again, we do clutches of white snakes. It's boring, but it pays for my employees. One clutch of blue-eye Lucy's will pay for 5 pallets of rat feed. One clutch of blue-eye Lucy's will pay for our a new rack that we need. We ordered 26 racks last year from ARS to do upgrades on all of our racks, switching everything over. Switching out our 1070s to 5540s.
Before you move off talking what a clutch of white snakes will buy you, can I tell you one quick story?
Oh, what's up?
So last year, a friend of mine was like, I'm gonna just do bell to bell. I was like, dude, what are you doing? They're like, I like white snakes. And I was like, that's silly, but okay, if you want to do it, like go for it. And the fact that I told them it was silly basically just like put a nail in the coffin for me, because their clutch of white snakes made them more money than I made off any single clutch last year. Not to say that it made more money than my clutches would have made had I sold everything, but like still it beat me. Their one bell clutch beat me for incoming like monetary value. It's like, God damn.
So think about it like this. I told Ryan, so remember my employees, I pay pretty well here. And so I got to think about it. I'm like, if I pay an employee $50,000 a year, right? Let's say I pay an employee $50,000 a year and he can help me get 25 to 30 clutches of blue-eye Lucy's, right? A clutch of blue-eye Lucy averages about $2,500 a clutch.
Yep.
So all of a sudden his value goes up at $2,500 a clutch. You really, it don't take much. All of a sudden you have one employee paid for, and if I do 30 clutches of white snakes a year, I do some clutches of freeways, highways, a plethora of banana combos, stuff like that. And every white clutch I look at, and he messaged me and he goes, a super lesser just laid eggs today and we got 10 eggs. I'm looking at it. I'm like, cool. We just made $3,000 off of that clutch. And that's going to pay for, this week's payroll and rodents or whatever, So a lot of times when you guys are looking at that pairing, especially if you do this for a living, if you don't do this for a living and you just want to make cool stuff, great. That's exactly what I did for years. But if you're doing this for a living, you have to understand the number one. Oh, if you are, that's funny. If you
I'm leaving that up for a minute.
you have to
That was great.
understand what is the number one sold animal at every show. It's Blue-eyed Lucy. I have sold a Blue-eyed Lucy at every single show I've ever attended or ever vended at. I've had shows where I've sold 20 Blue-eyed Lucies at the show before. You know, we did Tinley last year, and I sold over 20 Blue-eyed Lucies at the show. You know, so you got to put that into factor. You know, in payroll alone, what we have to pay. If I'm going to do 300 clutches a year, you got to think how many rats I run through every week, stuff like that. So that's just kind of the part of that. Are we going to go to the 3 to 5 year goal?
We are.
I ramble a lot.
So no. I love it. Dude, talk about whatever you want. People apparently love to hear it. Our viewership's only going up. People are only joining. They're not leaving.
Yeah, good deal.
Keep talking about whatever you want. But yeah, so let's use what you just said as a launching point. So obviously, as a businessman, you know that having those, I want to say guaranteed money clutches, those bells that you know will move.
Right.
They're imperative, right?
Right.
But how much of that is your...
That doesn't get me out of bed. That doesn't get me out of bed in the morning. If that's what you're asking.
Yeah. I was gonna say, how much of that is why you do this? You know what I mean? Like
I'm not gonna wake up and think, oh my God, I need to go down and check and see if that clutch pipped. It must be more white snakes, right? So that doesn't get me out of bed in the morning. So all of the white snakes, highways, freeways, all of that stuff that that we move at shows, basically at the under $1,000 cap is going to be at my other facility. It's about 10 miles away from here. Everything else that is my personal project, which we do roughly 75 to 80 clutches here in this house. That's everything ran here that I run personally myself. That is like the dear to me projects, DG Clowns, DG Pides.
That's your voodoo stuff too, right? You have
voodoo stuff. I had a customer here about an hour ago before we started, picked up a voodoo combo. And you know, like my personal projects are all here and stuff that really gets me excited, you know, stuff that I can like, oh my God, I need to produce hats so I can make this next year. Again, like that 3 to 5 year goal. I'm like, man, in 5 years, I would like to make this in one snake. Stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, so now we've created a perfect segue.
Yeah.
See how that worked?
Yeah, I kind of leaned right into there.
So what are your 3 to 5 year goals? Like what animals are you hoping to see hatch out of those eggs 3 years from now?
So I'm sure every single person has seen the Desert Ghost Azanthic clown that Justin hatched. I thought about this idea like 2-3 years ago. I'm like, you know what would be really cool? And of course, Justin hatches one. But I'm starting to pair a lot of my Azanthic Desert Ghost stuff. I would like to make Azanthic Desert Ghost, Tri-Stripe, stuff like that, because I have DG Tri-Stripe project. Honestly, I don't know. The market has changed so much, and we have grown exponentially in terms of genetics, right? Yeah. 5 years ago, triple recessive was like not even in reach.
Yeah, now, you couldn't even put a price on it to buy it.
Right. But now I saw Hypo Clown Pides. I've seen Lavender Clown Pides. I've seen, you know, the Azanthic DG.
I saw a pastel Holy Grail on Morph Market yesterday.
Right. And then I saw, I know 3 Hypo DG clowns have been sold, stuff like that. So
Ultra Hypo Pides. I own one.
Right. Oh, shit. Yeah. So you have a triple. Yeah. Just go ahead and flex the animal. But
I own it with Billy. It's not all mine. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's like the genetics for these animals are getting so wild. I believe in right. It's been in that cover charge.
You guys are killing it. Thank you guys.
Yeah, the cover charge.
Yeah, hit those likes too, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, he knows what's up. Yeah, I think the genetics for ball python is gonna be so wild by then. I am hoping that in 3 to 5 years. My tab is about to get paid off. I need to go to bed. Yeah, you need to come get more snakes, dude. You're almost clear in your tab. This is the first time his tab's been that low in 3 years. So I think in 3 years, I would like to back off of the show circuit a little bit. Running myself a little ragged. I think last year, even with COVID, we still ran a lot of shows. The year before that, like I said, 40 shows. It was just a lot of miles on me. So I would like to back off of it just a little bit. We're gonna do all the major shows. You'll still see us in Daytona, Tinley, Arlington, all those. I'll still do our local shows, Marietta, Atlanta. But that's where I host our auction in March. So if you guys are in the area, don't miss that. It's all the proceeds will go to USARK in March. Marietta Show Me Show auction. I'm gonna have to plug that. But yeah, but 3 to 5 years, I'd like to back off of this a little bit. We're gonna reduce our clutch count. I'm gonna focus on our ultra high end stuff. Once I've replaced a lot of our blue-eyed Lucies with, let's say, clown pieds or DG clowns, whatever, and I just do, let's say, only 100 clutches like Ozzy does, and each clutch averages way more. Ozzy averages $30,000 a clutch. On one of his videos, he mentioned that. I couldn't even fathom that number. One year I was averaging like $6,000 a clutch for like 5 months straight. I was doing so good. I was like just crushing. And then he went out and said he does $30,000 clutches. I'm like, man, the after party with Bob. Hey, man, what are we doing after in Arlington? Is everyone
listen, Paul? Like, what the hell, man? You can't go flex on that. Like, man, Paul bought an animal off us last year. We're waiting for it to ship out because our export isn't open till April. Super cool dude. But he posts stuff like this, and he just makes me jealous as hell.
Dude, you need to get to Arlington. I'll tell you.
I know. Me and Nick have wanted to go to Arlington since basically I got back into the hobby since the Reptile Ward was created. But unfortunately, it's not a cheap venture from Canada, right? So.
Yeah, with COVID, it's a little tough. Hey, Will made it out here. Will made it out to Tinley.
Will also sells a lot of high-end stuff that I don't have.
Will also does sell a lot of snakes and has a lot of cool shit. Yeah, I guess.
But we've been at Tinley. We were at the last Tinley that we could actually go to.
Oh, okay. That's a while ago. That's 3 years ago.
Yeah, the one before Will tried to vend.
Okay.
Yeah. What was that? I think it was
pre-COVID.
When did COVID start? 2020, right?
20,
so it must have been fall 2019. Yeah.
19. Okay.
Nick and I went, and we said, "Hey, from here on out, we're never missing another Tinley." Yeah. And I'm pretty sure we accidentally started COVID.
Yeah, you guys cursed it for sure. Hey, so I'll tell everybody this. Everyone's invited. After every major show, okay. Arlington, Tinley, St. Louis, Daytona, like literally my van is going to pull up to the main hotel. Whoever wants to go, just hop in the van and we just go for an adventure, man. It's a good time. We'll see wherever my driver takes us, and my driver Christopher Pilgrim, he just picks a spot and drops us off, and it's a good old time. And we're going to Chica's. We are going to Chica's next weekend. So,
I am making a declaration right now that this show next year we're at. Like,
you should go.
I'll try to get to the next Arlington one too. Absolutely.
The fall Arlington is great because the weather is so much nicer. It's cold over there now. It's nice in fall.
Do you wait? Are you talking about Arlington, Texas?
Yes.
Do you know what cold is?
No, I'm from Nam. Okay, back where I'm from, this shit in Georgia is cold to me, and it's like 30. It's like 40 out.
I feel terrible for the people in Texas. I know that they're looking at another cold front and potentially a storm and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think anybody from that part of the country understands what cold really, really is.
Oh, yeah. You guys get like negative stuff. Like you guys get like fake temperatures and stuff.
Negative stuff. Like, we get a lot of negative stuff.
Yeah.
And it's for multiple
temperatures.
months.
Like, that's ridiculous. I'm from Nam, man. And I told my mom I'm visiting in December. Like I'm flying back to Vietnam. And She was like, I was like, December, what should I wear? And she's like, shorts and a t-shirt. Like literally it's Vietnam. Like it ain't freezing over there.
So he said the ticker's too late, but we actually have a higher viewer count than when he made a joke about it.
Yeah.
So fuck you, Pete.
Freaking Pete.
By the way, go follow For Pete Snakes on Instagram. Dude's a gem. Anyway.
-40, -40. It's 40 here, and I'm freezing. My dog sleeps inside because it's 40 degrees outside.
Wait, you live in a country where your dog can sleep outside any day of the week?
My dog sleeps inside most days. He sleeps in the snake room, but like during
But
the
like
day,
the weather is okay enough that he can just go
yeah,
outside and sleep.
during the day, I have to put him inside because it's 40 degrees. And then I just let him out to pee and poop. But during the day, if it's nice out, you know, like 70, 80s, like it's supposed to be, he stays outside all day. And, you know, he hates being inside, but 40 is cold to us. Okay.
This is great. This is so good. Next question, though, because I feel like we keep taking a topic and then just like snowballing.
Yeah, we unravel it and go crazy. Why do I do this? So I can pay for my Corvette. What are you talking about? No. I
most honest dude that I've ever interviewed. This is the best.
Yeah, it's like I need money. No. I have kept snakes. I have like literally. I've enjoyed snakes my whole life. I wanted snakes when I was growing up. I wanted snakes when I was. And my parents got me a turtle when I was younger instead of a snake because it was a safer animal. And then in high school, my dad allowed me to build a rat rack in the house in my study.
Wait, turtle what?
A pet turtle.
What'd you say after that?
Because it was safer.
Safer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I had a small turtle in this little tiny little tank back then. And now that I think about it, it's like that should be animal abuse. But fast forward 20 years of experience. But really in high school, my dad allowed me to build a rat rack in my study room to breed rats, to feed my snakes. And you know, if anyone here knows Asian culture, snakes, like telling your kids you can do snake and all that, it literally is not a thing. So thank God my parents were super cool and allowed me to kind of test out what I really enjoy. And I have a degree, I have a college degree. I went through all that and I make a bunch of money doing other things. But so obviously when I tell people it's not about the money for me, because I can make money doing other stuff. And I own 2 other businesses. So it's not like snakes is my only money. But this gets me up every day. You know, I wake up, I want to go down here. I want to get working. I want to see what we can produce. I want to see how much better we can get at our craft. When we go to shows, dude, I always look at everyone's displays and try to see what we can do to make our display look better. And we have literally done everything that we can to try to like get the perfect setup and how efficient we can run everything. And I tell people efficiency is going to help you keep your animals better. If you can clean this whole entire snake room in, let's say, 3 hours, it's more than 3 hours, but let's say you can.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. But if you can, you do it more often, right? But if it takes you forever to do it and it's hard work and blah, 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 you're not going to want to do it as often. For me, dude, I can go to these water reels and redo water in every single tub in here in 2 hours. I can do every single tub in this room in 2 hours. So we do it. I
can't do every single tub in my rack in 2 hours, and I have probably a 20th of what you have.
Right. We have 1,000. We have over 1,000 tubs in this room currently, baby tubs, and
that's one of 2 facilities.
Right. So we make it so efficient that so even my employees don't have to think, oh my God, it's such a pain in the ass to redo water, so that they don't do it. But because it's so easy, they're literally, the water reel is right next to the rack. So if you have a piece of mouse poop, rat poop in the water, really, it's right there. Replace the water, you know. So
yeah, there's no reason not to at that point. It's not like you're inconveniencing yourself.
Now you're just being a dick, but to not replace the water, right? So I think trying to get better at this and getting better at your craft, I think, is why I do it. And I really do enjoy the animals, obviously. And the money's good too.
Next question. What made you realize you wanted to work with animals?
That's easy because I don't want to work with people. So much.
You are officially my favorite guest.
It's so much easier. I had a job where I had to be. You have to be a people person. You have to pretend to be a people person if you're not a people person. Mm-hmm. I have to literally enter people's houses and say things about them that are nice, and convince them they need life insurance, even though they will tell me they don't. And I'm like, you're not very healthy and all that stuff, but with animals, it's so predictable. In my opinion, animals are very predictable. Ball pythons are predictable. You can look at a snake and tell if it's going to bite you. You know how many meals it will need before it can breed. You know how
Mhm.
many you can ultrasound. Once you have the ultrasound, it's down to the science. I mean, then it becomes predictable. If it's, you have good husbandry, animals will eat. If they eat, they will breed. You'll get eggs. If you produce, if your average is $300 per blue-eyed Lucy, and you produce 10 blue-eyed Lucies, you're gonna make $3,000. It literally, once you know your numbers, it's just because I did sales for a long time. If you know your numbers, everything gets so easy. Everything is just it's just down to the math, down to everything else. So once I realized that with animals is more predictable than with people, and again, the animals, I enjoy the animals. I come in here, and the other day, one of my employees say the one way he can tell if someone actually likes dealing with animals is even when they're by themselves, they'll kind of talk to them. Like I'll open a tub and I'll be like, I'll talk to the snake, not in a weird way. I'm not one of those weird snake people, but I'll still talk to them and be like, like, hey,
I'll 100% talk to them in a weird way. I don't even
yeah. And when they bite me, I'll be like, you jackass, and there's no one around. So it's not like the snake can, anyone can hear me, but like you can kind of tell how people handle and deal with their animals, if they actually enjoy it, or is it just like a chore to them? So, just enjoy it. Hey, come back out to the table this in 2 weeks. Oh, next weekend.
I wanna sit on this for 1 second though, because you're one of the very few people in this entire hobby that I've yet to hear a single negative thing about. And I actually wanted to ask you about that because it's tough, right? Especially in a hobby like this, people can have so many different negative experiences.
Yeah.
With sellers, with animals, whatnot. And I'm not saying there's not somebody out there. I'm sure somebody's, even if they haven't had a bad experience, I'm sure they've thought they did.
Right. Right.
But the fact that out of every, again, not trying to blow smoke up your ass, but out of every big ball python breeder, you're the only person I haven't heard anything negative about. I've seen a lot of people be like, "Oh, I've never dealt with Bob."
Right.
I've seen a lot of people be like, "Oh, I've talked to him, but we've never bought from him."
Right.
But I've never seen anyone be like, "Oh, it's snakes suck. They don't eat." Like I've never seen that from anybody in the hobby.
I think for one, it's we have made mistakes before. Every breeder's made a mistake. I've made a mistake. I'll the one mistake I make the most, unfortunately, I'll tell everybody about this, is I'll double sell a snake. I make this mistake maybe once every 2 months, unfortunately.
We will go back to this in a second, but continue.
Like I will sell a snake. I'll take a snakes to show. I'll sell it on Saturday. I don't update my morph market. It's so crazy. We're going out drinking all stuff. Monday come around, someone emails me and said, "Hey, I want to buy the snake." I said, "Cool, send me money." They'll send me money. Next Tuesday comes around. I'm supposed to ship the snake out. I go look in the rack and it's not there. There's 1,000 snakes in here, so I have no idea. I go looking for the snake and I'm like, it's not here. And then I think about it. I'm like, shit, I sold it last Saturday. So that is the biggest mistake I feel like I make often, but I always make it right to my customer. I either offer them obviously full refund, but I always offer them an upgraded snake. So
yeah, you offer them something a little better, right?
Right. And I think that usually keeps the customer happy. You don't ever get bad reviews from that. I always tell people I usually go over the top to take care of my mistakes. If I sell you a snake that it just absolutely won't eat for you or whatever, I'll offer for you to ship it back, and then I'll get it eating for you and ship it to you. Or I can literally refund you the money. You ship me the snakes, or I'll send you a new snake. Doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. And again, I think about it in my head, the way it goes in my head is each one of these animals are unique to their own thing. But again, at the end of the day, they're all ball pythons. They're all the same snake.
Yep.
And if you're going to give me $1,000 of your money that you worked hard for, let's say you make $20 an hour, you worked 50 hours.
Dude, that's a fucking comment.
Appreciate it, Jim. Actually, I've known Jim for a long time. But let's say you worked 50 hours of your life to make this $1,000 to send me for a ball python. So in my opinion, it's kind of my obligation to take care of you, so take care of you, send you a good animal. So I feel like that's why it's been really good. My customer service, I feel, is really good because I sit on my phone all day. So when people message me, I just talk to them, and I enjoy talking snakes. you send me pictures of snakes, I kind of like to challenge myself and guess the genetics based on the pairing, stuff like that. So I really do enjoy that part. A lot of people come over to my house and I take them out for noodles. I tell everybody, I give everyone the same offer. Once you've done business with me, you're welcome to noodles. Come down to Atlanta. I'll take you out to the best food you ever find. You're always welcome to hang out with me at shows. I think because I enjoy it, it becomes infectious to other people. And it's hard for people to hate you when you, and then again, my outlook in the business too. I've been screwed out of deals. I've been through some of the worst parts of the industry. About 7-8 years ago, there was like a really bad part of the industry. It was kind of, the industry got really stagnant. The sales were kind of slow. There were like these hate groups that were coming up.
Oh, you mean when ball pythons were dead?
Yeah,
and,
Bob.
And we're
Market was
never
dead.
going to make any money ever.
Yeah, the market was dead. No, it's like those deals. It wasn't so much the market was low; it was low for those guys. Right?
Yeah.
And I was new. I was brand new. I was just coming in. You know, I had just declared full time, and I had a lot of guys that did not like me. They honestly didn't like me. 100%. I want to say is because of either my race or my approach. I was coming in hot, spending money, buying up stuff and producing and selling very fast. And because I was at every show, I'm at a show every weekend. I'm going to outsell you. You know, I want to out hustle you. And I got a lot of hate for that. I got a lot of hate for being Asian in the industry. They made a lot of posts about that. A lot of good memes, actually.
Really?
Oh my God. The amount of times my face has been photoshopped into like
Holy
Kim Jong-un's body is yeah. So there was a Facebook group back then called Natita, Noobs in the Industry to Avoid. I was their like prime target. It was me and like Mike Schultz and those guys. Like literally, if you are a heavy salesman, if you're like selling, they were gonna attack you because they feel if you're only in it for the money and blah blah blah. And I got a lot of frack about that. They made memes about my family and all that. Because I post a lot about my family on Facebook. Like I post about my parents, my siblings. I post a lot about my family on my Facebook. So they ragged on me a lot about that. But that honestly didn't really make me hate the industry at all. You know, I didn't even hate those guys. I feel like they just, they've never met me in person. And so they don't know who I am, you know. So I actually met a few of those guys in person at shows, and then we became friends. And I was like, I'm just like you guys, just different color. And trying to do exactly what you guys are trying to do. You're trying to produce ball pythons and sell ball pythons, you know. And those guys, eventually, 99% of them have already quit the industry. There's like a few left. I know exactly who they are. They don't think I know because it was a secret group. But I have a lot of friends, you know. Yep. Everyone sends me screenshots. I have a lot of friends. So, but no, it didn't jade me or whatever into the industry. I enjoyed it even more after that when I had more support from my other friends and stuff like that. You know.
That's fucking awesome. Okay, we're gonna jump into another question. Now we are over the hour mark. I don't want to keep you over what you're expected. I know when you were on Billy's podcast, you had some prior obligations afterwards.
So, oh yeah, I got nothing to do today. All
right, cool. Well, until you tell me to fuck off, we're gonna keep going. Then.
As long as people are watching, we're good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, dude. I'm pretty sure we actually hit my highest viewership. My thing is telling me there's only one person watching right now.
No, that can't be right. I see comment pop up.
No, it said we were at like 42 and then it dropped to 1. So I think something glitched. Anyway, we're going to jump into another question.
Okay.
We're going to go real fun. What was your first big disappointment or letdown?
Probably when I was being attacked by these race groups and no one said anything. Honestly, even the guys that I knew in the industry that were in those groups never said anything. They were just like, okay, whatever. And they just skipped right by the post. And the guy publicly, this
is why you have to go follow Pete.
All right, I love Pete. You know, but literally, like there are the guy that was making all the posts. Everyone knows him, Tom Mechanic. He's like a bully in the industry, and he made all these comments about me and posts about me, and all the mutual friends that we had never said anything. So that was like the biggest letdown. I'm like, the fact that you guys are not willing to stand up for me, it's like you're kind of okay with racism, so that's like kind of not cool. But other than that, man, they hadn't been really bad. I mean, literally, like it wasn't like he was a little racist; he was like a lot of racist. You know,
Oh shit.
like he used words you had to Google to know that it's like racist. And then like the whole Nam thing. He told me his dad shot my uncle in Nam, blah blah blah. All that stuff. But
Jesus.
yeah, just stuff like that. And I was like, okay, that's whatever. But yeah, and that was a big disappointment for me. Another big disappointment was when I bought the desert. Anybody remember the
Oh my
desert at
god.
all?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. You got into desert?
I bought a male desert for $4,000.
Oh
It wasn't
no.
that bad. I know people have done, like spent worse.
Oh, I've heard horror stories about people.
Yeah, but you got to think also when I bought the desert, I didn't have much money. Like I really didn't have much money. I
Oh,
spent
yeah,
$4,000
like if I
on
dropped $4,000 on something that just fizzled right now,
it.
I'd be
Right.
fucked.
Imagine you just bought into a project and literally like a month later, everyone told you do not. You can't even breed it.
That says it all.
Yeah. Oh, the heartbreak. Yeah, that was a heartbreak. And again, I know people who spent $20,000 on them. I just, but $4,000 was a lot of money for me at the time. I didn't have money. I was just starting to do sales, and I'm like, the desert is the most beautiful animal I've ever seen. I'm gonna buy it. I bought a male, and literally months after it was announced that females were infertile, and I was like, the hell do I do with this male? I went ahead and bred him. I bred him. I had 2-3 cool clutches, but then we ended up just giving them all away. So that was the biggest disappointment, I think.
Okay, so before I forget, big shout out to Husbandry Pro. These guys, if you're not tracking your collection in any way, I recommend them. Husbandry, they're great. They're anyway. I just kept forgetting to do that. Why did I lose everything? I am so sorry. Oh, I meant to ask you this earlier when we were talking about the voodoo stuff. But what genes are you working with? I'm sure you have basically everything. If I'm sure it's not everything, but I'm sure you have a good wide variety. What are the things that excite you the most that you're working with?
I'm breeding DG Azanthic into everything. I think that I talked to Jake Milbrandt. DG Azanthic has the best platform to add other things into it. I feel like DG Clown can become limited. I'm not DG Clown. Like Clown Pies can become a little limited when you add genes, right? You can't add a Lucy complex. You can't add Black Pastel or Cinnamon complex. You can't add Fire. You can't add Cypher. Certain genes that just doesn't work in the Clown Pie project. But the DG Azanthic, I think it's wide open. The door is wide open for that. You can do GH. I think a GHI DG Azanthic is going to be an amazing animal. Milbrandt's working on that. And I'm working, obviously, DG Clown for Voodoo. I bred I'm working on some zebra stuff. That's kind of fun. Getting a lot of pushback for that project. The zebra is a recessive project. I think most of the project right now is in Adam Chelsea's hand. And he's promoting that project. Look it up on Morph Market. Adam has really good examples on there. He has hypos and all the really nice project on there. It's a nice project. So I'm really liking that. But the Azanthic stuff, man, I'm really excited. I was never an Azanthic guy. I really never liked the Azanthic guy. But I really like the Azanthic Desert Ghost. The Blue Steel, I have Orange Stream Enchi hypo Blue Steel project stuff working. So I have a really good project of that. And the only reason I don't release any of that stuff is because I'm hoarding so much for myself just to work the project out. And anytime you're working on a good project, you feel like you have a good project like that, hoard it, man. I hoarded Voodoos for like 4 years before I started selling them. I had the project for the first 3 years. I didn't sell any. I gave some away to my good friends I know would work the project and protect the project. And I sold a few that year, but I hoard everything when I'm on a new project, man. Hey, do you mind if we talk about something real quick before it slips my mind?
Absolutely. Anything you want to talk about, man. Let's go.
I know we talked about this the other day. Let's talk about the donations to USARK, yeah?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was kind of hoping that we would organically hit that, but yeah, no shipping questions or anything came up. So yeah, let's dive into that. There was a post on Facebook. I don't recall who posted it.
I don't remember who either. But the
But there
post,
there were, you know what? There were a lot of comments on it.
right?
There were
Right.
a lot for it. There were a lot. I don't want to say against it because it wasn't necessarily against it. There were a lot of people
Right.
that were
Explaining it.
exactly that were saying, "Hey, listen, this is why I don't do this." So,
Right.
now I'm not from the States. Can you say which company that was from?
Okay, yeah, I can explain the whole post.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yeah, that's even better.
yeah, so the post is the fact that Ship Your Reptiles, very known company, shipper company over here, Ship Your Reptiles, has a tab at the bottom where you donate $1 for every shipment you make, right? Towards USARK, United States Association for Reptile Keepers. So every shipment you make, $1 or not $1 goes to it. You donate $1 that goes to USARK. Great, right? That's a great idea. Every USARK needs the money. But in the same scheme of things, a lot of comments obviously, yeah, everyone should donate. My comment was that instead of you donating $1 to Ship Your Reptiles, who will then donate that dollar to USARK, you can just personally donate to USARK or save those dollars and buy a membership, right? And I had a lot of people give me pushback. Oh, you're only doing it for tax purposes or whatever. I'm like, yes. Not only, but yes. I'm doing it for tax purposes because I will ask you right now. Those people are like, oh, you should donate $1. I said, what membership level do you have? I don't have one. Okay, you could have if you didn't donate all those dollars. You just went and bought a membership. Same thing, exact thing, except now you have a tax write-off for your business, which is just a good business practice. And you're now enrolled into a newsletter with USARK. You'll get all the updates. You're now a USARK member, which now there's more members involved. So, and then they're like, well, it's only a few bucks. I'm like, I shipped 800 packages last year. I shipped out 800 boxes last year, which means it's $800, which means I will get a tax rebate of about, not a tax rebate, but I get tax shelter for $800.
Yeah.
Right? I get a write-off for $800. Now, all that money that I saved, I can donate to USARK also. Now, I would be donating $1,200 to USARK instead of $800. And I get the tax rebate, okay? Now, in the same sense, when you go to Home Depot and you buy something, there's always a tab at the bottom that says, do you want to donate $1 to children in need? And everyone knows you probably should donate money to children in need, right? But now, if 1 million people do that, at the end of the year, Home Depot has held on to this $1 million, which they make interest off, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Then they donate this $1 million and get $1 million tax break because they donated it to a nonprofit. And you did not get that tax break because you donated your money to a company that's going to donate this money to get their tax break. And really, do these $1 billion corporations need your tax break? I'm not saying Ship Your Reptiles is a $1 billion company that don't need your tax break, but you as a personal business owner, even if you're not, even if you only did 20 clutches this year and you don't do this full time, remember, you still have to pay taxes on steaks you sell. And when it's come time to taxes, you can say, hey, but I donated $150 to USARK. Automatically, you get $150 worth of 100% tax deduction because it is going to a nonprofit organization, and USARK is a nonprofit organization. So it was just good business practice to do this. And everyone's kind of coming in and now. I had MJ attack me over it, and they're like, well, why are you only donating if it's tax write-off? I'm like, MJ, I donate $20,000 a year to USARK. If you've seen me at an auction, I buy the dumbest stuff. Literally, I pay for the dumbest stuff.
Were you at Tinley fall 2019?
Was that the show where I spent like $2,000?
Was that the show where Miguel was on video call because he couldn't make it?
Yeah.
You were there. Okay, yeah. You drop money.
I buy a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I buy some dumb stuff because at the end of the day, we need USARK. We need to support USARK. But I'm going to support USARK in my own way, right?
Yes.
If I donate $20,000 to USARK a year, I want my tax write-off. I want to be able to write it off, right? Because now I get to save $20,000 in taxes and give my employees a bonus. So
exactly. This is the big thing. This is the thing that when I was reading through those comments and when I messaged you and I was like, hey, we need to talk about
We need to talk about this, right?
It was important to me. People don't realize what kind of tax benefits that provides a company that they can then provide to the people that work for them, right? Which could be the people even reading those comments.
Right.
Those people could work for somebody. I was reading those comments. I once worked for Billy, right? It's important. Like, I totally understand if you drop 500, 1,000, 2,000, 5, whatever the number is, to donate to USARK or whatever organization it is. Like up here, now CanHerp is coming back hard. They're taking from USARK's lead, and they're trying to do the same for us, right? But I fully understand why a box being unchecked during a selection screen, like, they made it seem like it was almost criminal. The way that the post was laid out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
they're attacking these people for saving $1, which they will donate eventually on their own time, or if they do, who cares? We're not going to shame people into donating money. Is what I was telling them. Be like, you shouldn't have to shame people into doing the right thing, but you can definitely praise people for doing the right thing. Is what I was trying to tell MJ. Like, I would never shame anybody. Oh, what do you mean you don't ever donate to Toys for Tots? But I will tell you, man, we appreciate you for donating. You know, you shouldn't have to shame people into doing the right thing.
And here's the thing, like, when we agreed to talk about this, I was never going to bring up MJ. Him and I have a bit of a complicated relationship.
Right.
But realistically, he was who was kind of contesting you on the post, and I'm not going to take sides. I totally understand where he's coming from too. Like, I totally get. I totally get wanting to be very much like, hey, throw that $1 in. And for people that maybe send 30, 40, 50 packages a year, which is, I shouldn't say where I would be. I mean, I think Nick and I would be probably closer to like 150, 200. But I totally understand wanting to support and defend that $1 for the average public. But the demonization of I want to say certain people, because there are people in the industry, quite like yourself, who do, 800 to 1,000 to God knows how many deliveries a year, that they can then take and donate separately, or like you go to the USARK auctions and you go nuts, and a lot of guys do. Like, they love it. I've often said, if you have not been part of a Tinley auction, like, you need to be part of one.
Right. Tinley, Arlington, Daytona, those auctions are fun. And it's not, and everyone's like, oh, this is the same guys bidding on a lot of stuff. And I was like, and it's fair, but a lot of these guys bidding on a lot of stuff and overpaying for stuff, we generally overpay for stuff that don't matter. If you're there to buy a snake or enclosure or whatever, we never bid you up. We literally bid you up on dumb stuff. And I'll show you my winnings from the years. I've given a lot of it away. But literally, this is what I pay for. Stuff like this is what we pay stupid money for at auction. So you guys are still going to get good stuff.
Is that Jeff Goldblum?
Yes, Goldblum. That's my Daytona winning. I buy
that is the best thing I've ever seen, dude.
Yeah, and it's like,
no, but what I try to tell people is like, dude, there are people out here paying fucking $500 for a tray of cookies, and then they just pass them around the room.
Yep.
Like,
Jello shots, man. That's my favorite thing to buy.
Not even normal selfless donating, but they're throwing their. Thank you very much. They're throwing their money at USARK and then taking what they get from USARK and then passing it around the room.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's insane, and it's really cool to see, because you can tell that these people, they love what they do, and they really, really want to make sure it continues.
Right. That's the point I was trying to make, is like, we all want this to continue. We all enjoy this thing together. And you shouldn't attack people purely because they went and unchecked the box. Look, you don't know their situation. That $1 could be make a difference to them, right? Maybe if they ship 20 boxes a week, that's $20 for someone that is not doing well in life, That's a big difference. Not all of us are well off or whatever, so you're shaming these people over their donations, and it could be 50, 60 packages, a month that they can use that money, or again, tax deductions is a huge thing. If anyone that's actually in business, running a business for themselves and running a successful, good business, they know what they're doing, they'll tell you, don't donate to those little things, those $5 things, $10 things, and just pull it together and donate it all at once, get a receipt for it, and use that tax deduction. You are not only donating for a tax deduction, but if you're going to donate anyways, be smart about it,
Well, and not only that, this is the thing. People don't realize, like, that whole post was a lot of people.
Yeah.
And honestly, MJ wasn't the only guy. I know he was on the post, and I didn't want to bring him out by name, like I said, but you already did. But the thing is, now Ship Your Reptiles is going to have 100K or 120K or whatever it is of people that have donated $1.
Right.
That they then get to donate to USARK, and now they get that benefit, right?
Right.
Why would you not want to bring that benefit onto yourself and still support the place that you want to?
Right. Which is fine, which is 100% fine, honestly, for Ship Your Reptiles to get that 100K tax write-off or whatever the amount is.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
Fine.
I'm not downplaying it. Sorry.
Right. And it's super smart of them to do that. And it's great for them that they did that, because now it gives a platform for someone who doesn't know where to donate. Right. It's great. It's so smart of them to do that. And it's a good thing for the industry. It's a good thing for USARK, and it's a good thing for them. But people have to realize I was only commenting to let people know there's another option that's good also for your business, your personal business, that you get these deductions in the right way, Again, and then people got all but hurt.
The thing that really bothered me is, I guess I must have caught the post a little later on.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a fair few comments, and there was your comments, and there was other people's comments. And people weren't really realizing that, like, if I'm being very optimistic, and I think this is why it's there, but for the people that only send out 15, 20, 30 animals a year, right? Like, maybe those people don't have the means to actively donate.
Right.
But that $1, they're not going to see a difference in. You know what I mean? Like, you put $1, you have 1,000 coming in, you have 61 going out versus 60.
Right.
Maybe that's your way to give it back. Right. And, like, all the power to them. Like, thank you. Absolutely. From everybody in the hobby, it's not going to hurt.
Right. And if for those guys, they don't do this for a living, they don't have a business, they probably don't have to claim taxes at the end of the year. So my comment doesn't apply to them, because if they're not filing taxes, they don't need the write-offs. It doesn't matter. But for anyone that's going to have to file taxes, Jeremy, Bod, for Bod's Exotic, you're going to have to pay taxes for all those DGs you produced. You're going to have to pay taxes. You're going to want to keep track of what you donate. You want to be smart about it. You don't want to make $100,000 and then when you go do your taxes, they're like, all right, cool, you owe us $36,000, and you're like, what? I have no deductions. What? Then that time comes, you're gonna appreciate my comment more.
Absolutely. And you know what? It's really funny, because I don't think a lot of people realize how important charity and I don't think people realize how important charitable giving is for businesses.
Right.
Like, it's huge. Like, that money is essentially taken off of everything you've claimed.
Yep.
It's just like cut off as if it never happened. Right.
Yep.
So it's huge. It's probably the biggest reduction that you can take.
Yeah. So, it's 100% deduction.
Yeah, exactly. So for you to not want to do $1 here, $1 there, $1 there, $1 here, and instead give them $1,000 flat, right? Like, first of all, you're probably giving more than if you gave $1 every time.
Right.
Then also, have that when you file your taxes at the end of the year, and you
save yourself $800
for everybody.
Yeah. It just makes sense.
Even if you can't take that money like you do and put it towards USARK,
you not still count it.
You can keep yourself going,
even though you donate it to a shipping company instead of directly. Hey, for Mason, for that question,
I put it up.
Yeah. For that question, you can until you get audited. You get what I'm saying? Because
now it just looks like a part of the purchase, right?
Right. Now your purchase went from $60 to $61. So that is still a business expense, but it is not a charitable donation. You will not get 100% deduction from it. A business expense versus a charitable donation, the tax is different on it. So yes, you will still have an extra dollar that you spent, but you will not have a donation expense. If that makes sense. So, all right, we got to really boring stuff there. So let's talk about something.
Good. Boring. I was on the same boat as you, so I'm dropping another question down here. What do you believe is a non-recessive staple gene that every collection needs at least one of?
Voodoo. No, I'm not gonna say that.
We'll be talking.
Everyone needs a orange dream. It's my favorite codominant gene since I started in the industry. I bought my first orange dream in 2000, and when was I at that house? I want to say 2014. So I've been working with orange dream stuff for a while, 13 or 14, one of those years. And it really is my favorite non-recessive gene.
Really?
Yep. Hey, all right. So however many questions you got for me, blast them away. We're wrapping it up because I got spring rolls ready upstairs.
Oh, damn. Okay. Yep. Okay.
You know,
we're gonna wrap this up then with one more question. It's my favorite question to ask everybody.
Perfect.
All right. Okay, cool. This is kind of last minute, but why is this not working all of a sudden? Okay, so this is my absolute favorite question to ask every guest I have. Okay. If you could remove one gene from the entire ball python hobby, not just what you have in your rooms, from everybody's collection, what would it be? And would the answer change if it was restricted to just what you own?
I would remove. Honestly, this answer sucks. Honestly, because I've worked with spiders my whole life, the whole career I had. The third morph I ever bought was a spider ball python, but because the spider ball python does give our industry a very bad image. Not pastel, Nate. Desert Ghost has fixed pastel. Okay. Pastel is cool again. What? No, but I think it's going to be spider because for your general public, your general pet keeper, they shouldn't buy a spider. They're going to post a video of online. It's the animal's freaking out most of the time when they post a video of it. These new YouTubers, these new breeders are attacking the spider like it's nobody's business. As a seasoned breeder, I can tell you, spiders grow well, they eat well, they breed well. But for the general public, it's a bad image for the industry. It's a flawed gene. The animal wobbles. Even in the blackhead spider combo, it wobbles. It's an amazing looking mutation by itself, right? It's just so different than a normal. That's why it caught on early. Mm-hmm. But by now, we have 500 other genes we can work with. There's no reason to work with a flawed gene with a neuro issue that when you sell that baby to somebody in 6 months, they're going to call you and say, why is this thing freaking out? Or they're going to post a video on their TikTok or their Snapchat or Instagram. And then now their 500 friends are looking at their animal go do all kind of this stuff. And it's just a bad look for the industry. That's the only thing I would look at. I'm actually phasing out a lot of spiders in my collection because of it. It's making it harder to sell let's say I have a Desert Ghost Clown. I can sell a Desert Ghost Clown for $10,000. Pretty easy too, probably. I can go to any show and get $10,000 for it. If I have a spider Desert Ghost Clown, it's probably a $7,000 snake.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Will had a Bumblebee Desert Ghost Clown female up for like $7,500.
I turned that down. I turned that snake down.
Exactly. That's what I mean. It's crazy.
I turned down a female Desert Ghost Clown.
That animal should have been like a $10,000, $12,000 animal.
Right.
Lots of people passed on it.
Yeah, so I passed on it because I was thinking in my head, I'm like, it's Desert Ghost Clown, but it has spider. So, I'm like, then I don't want to reproduce anything because I want spot nose in my desert ghost clown. I don't want spot nose spider. I'm screwed. So I literally pass on the snake at a lower price than a regular desert ghost clown. So I'm phasing those out of my personal collection. And I think even if it phased out of the whole hobby, it won't be missed that much because we have 500 other genes to work with. Why bother with one that's flawed and have to defend it every time the conversation comes up? We have to literally defend this gene every time it comes up.
So I'm going to say, out of all the people that have said spider, you've had the best argument for it.
Yes.
Absolutely, you have. A lot of people just say spider because they're like, spider. People don't like spider; it's hard to sell. Like you gave a detailed reason, and it's been great. But Bob, you have food waiting for you, so I am going to thank you right now for all your time. We've gone, an hour and a half.
Hour and a half, yeah.
Yeah, that went. I would love to have you back sometime. This has been really fun. I didn't even get through all my questions because we kind of just went off the rails everywhere. We didn't even get back to anime.
Yeah, we wander a lot. Yeah, I'm long-winded too, so we'll pick this up next time where we left off.
Cool, man. Well, thank you so much. This has been super fun. I'm gonna let you go. You go eat, and we'll talk soon, and we'll definitely get you back on here, man. This was
all right.
A great
Appreciate
time.
It, man. Enjoyed it.
All right, man. Peace. Have a good dinner, eh?
Yeah.
See ya. Guys, that was holy shit. That was Bob Vu. I don't even have anything more to say. Next week, though, I'm going to take this off the screen. That's terrible. Next week, though, we have a really good friend of mine, another Canadian, Nathan Dial on Sundial Reptiles, but he's coming on with Nicole Lyons, Canadian Regis. It's going to be a great episode. So I really, really hope you tune in. If you're new here, if you haven't watched before, please hit that subscribe button. We generally do mostly lives, but you know what? You might see some more non-live content coming from us very soon. Other than that, I'm going to go now because I also haven't eaten. So I hope you guys all have a fantastic Friday, fantastic night. And I'll catch you guys next week. Peace.